Elon Musk has warned he will ban Apple devices if OpenAI is integrated at the operating system level, saying that is an unacceptable security violation. And visitors will have to check their Apple device at the door, where they will be stored in a Faraday cage. I hope Elon Musk produces not only a Faraday cage, but a triple-layer Faraday cage to really isolate those things. Apple and OpenAI did not immediately respond to Reuters' request for comment. Early in the day, Apple announced a slew of AI features across its apps and operating platforms in a partnership with OpenAI to bring the ChatGPT technology to its devices. Apple said it had built AI with privacy at the core, and it would use a combination of on-device processing and cloud computing to power those features. It's patently absurd that Apple isn't smart enough to make their own AI, yet is somehow capable of ensuring that OpenAI will protect your security and privacy. What Apple is trying to now add to the narrative is when data leaves and goes to the secure private cloud, it's similarly taking that same user data, anonymization, and firewalling of that information to you. Apple really never sees that. Ladies and gentlemen, we are facing what I would call an extinction level event. I don't exactly know what form it will take. What I can tell you is AI is, a year away, 2 years away from probably destroying humanity. Maybe it's more than that, but the destruction of humanity will begin in this process. But I'll explain. First, Ray Kurzweil says AI models will exceed human verbal ability in a year or two. And the next step is large event models that enable robots to perform physical tasks. I'm going to play this clip for you, but I want to tell you a story first. Quick one. They connected two AIs, and the AIs created their own language to communicate with each other. We couldn't understand it. Check this clip out.
As far as verbal skills are concerned, large language models will be far more advanced than humans within 1 or 2 years. But to truly emulate everything that humans can do, AI must master all of our physical capabilities as well. There are many trillion-dollar markets that this will unlock, basically about half our economy. We need to, first of all, create robots that can perform physical skills in every field.
No, we don't, but I'll explain in a second.
For example, in medicine, construction, materials management, hospitality, and much more. This process has already begun. Then they will have to learn to blend these specific industry-based skills together in order to pursue each of these markets, something that is eminently feasible and is now starting. For example, today, if we want help cleaning up after a dinner party, it's a very simple task, but computers have not yet done that, but we now have the ability to do that. We can direct one or more humanoid robots to do exactly that, step by step. This is already feasible. However, going forward, we will rely on large language models to generate and implement the instructions. These models will go beyond language, so we should really be calling them large event models.
So I'll explain to you where we are now. We do not need to develop robots. We do not need to develop Atlas or any of these machines. ChatGPT is a large language model with access to the internet already can perform amazing tasks. I can use it to analyze voter data. I can use it to analyze polling data by region, extrapolate the data, and expand it nationwide. I can use it to calculate what foods, hypothesize what foods and what environmental factors result in higher or lower IQs. Why? For a long time, humans have collected data. We've now created these machines that can basically see the big picture. They can see all the data we've put in. There are errors, and the errors could be large, but these machines can correct for that. Here's what will happen. These models, within a year or two, are going to be able to map out new technologies we could not even comprehend. We're already looking at simulations, running simulations to improve our... Oh, I love this one. There's something in gambling called martingale. For those that gamble, you know exactly what martingale is. For those that don't, it's actually really simple. You're playing, let's say, roulette. And if you're playing high stakes, let me break down roulette for you so you can understand. For those who don't know, there are 36 numbers. Well, it depends on the table you're playing, but 36, and it's 3 dozens. And you bet on one of the numbers, or you can split it between 2 or between 4. The ball spins around, lands on one of the numbers. If you hit the number, you win. There's different ways you can bet. Casinos need to maintain a slight percentage edge so that they always win a little bit more. To do this, they've introduced 0. So there's 37 numbers, and 0 is one of them. But winning on a single number only pays out 35, or depending on the casino, 36 times. Meaning over a long enough period of time, the casino always wins. At modern casinos, they do 0 and double 0, increase the casino's edge. And the worst casinos actually have a third. They have triple 0, making their edge massive. Because of this, you can't win. Someone goes to the roulette table and they say, if I bet $10 on black, because there's 2 colors, black and red, and then there's technically green with the zeros, they're hoping it's a coin toss and I might double my money. But in fact, it's actually around 49%. Martingale works like this. I bet $10 on black. Red comes up. I double my bet. Now $20. Red comes up again. Oof. But it's 50-50, right? So I double again. $40. The bet hits. Black comes up. I win $40. I am now up $10. Martingale works under the premise that if every time you lose, you double your bet, you'll never lose. However, you will in the long run, because this is why they have table maximums. When you're betting at a casino, the maximum bet you can put on is $200, because that means after a certain amount of time, a losing streak becomes a losing streak and you've lost and you can't get your money back. If casinos had no table max and you had infinite money, you would never lose using Martingale, because you could lose 10 times in a row and just double the bet again and then get all your money back. So this is why casinos implemented maximum bets. Now, in high-limit roulette, there's only 1 0. But not to the point. In order to figure out a mathematical betting system which can overcome the odds or maximize your potential, you would need to sit there trying a bunch of different methods to figure out which gives you the beneficial mathematical outcome. So I can do this with ChatGPT, and many others have done this with standard simulations. Using Martingale or just betting simulators, you're trying to find a style of betting on a roulette board or any game that results in a net positive swing for you or a mitigation of risk. Martingale works really well. However, losing streaks do happen. Some people try to play Martingale with a stop loss. So you'll say, if I lose 4 times in a row, I'll go back to my original bet so I don't lose my principal revenue. Still does not work. There is, however, something interesting with simulations. So there's a group of people who run betting system simulators, and no matter what, you always have the risk of losing. But what they're looking for is maximum odds with the best payout. So there's a group that has claimed they used a simulator. They got a computer. They said, I have a bankroll of $10,000. I'm going to start with a $25 bet. Double dozen martingales, what they call it. And they say the simulator ran 100,000 times and only lost once. But what does that really mean? You would not be able to learn this data unless you actually ran a simulator to see if it was actually going to work. I mean, you can do mathematical calculations, but a simulator is really, really great because you can tweak it, run. With ChatGPT, you can do something even better. I went into ChatGPT and I said, devise a betting system and run a simulation. And it wrote the code out and it ran the simulation and it found a winning strategy for blackjack. That's right. A $50,000 bankroll, a maximum bet of $600 at a table that allows you to bet up to $1,000, and you will make 10 cents per spin. Ha ha! We've done it, ladies and gentlemen. No one's going to want to sit at a casino and make 10 cents every spin. So it's just not going to happen. It's not viable. My point is this. We're at a point where it would take human labor, a long period of time in mathematical calculations to try and figure it out. But with computers, we don't even need to devise the system anymore. If you've made it through that rant about gambling, we're at the point now where you will go to the AI and you will say, build me a robot that can wash my dishes. And it will go, working on it. It'll lay out everything you need to do it. It'll say, here are the materials you need. You'll say, I need a metamaterial. I need a material that is ultra lightweight and strong so that this robot won't be super heavy and can easily move about. The heavier it is, the more energy it would require. And it'll say calculating. And it'll actually take all of the data that's already been input, run the simulation and say, if you fold steel in this way and combine carbon at this temperature and this level, you will get an ultra lightweight metal that will be sturdy, not brittle, stable, but, 5 times lighter than the hardest material already, with only a 20% decrease in stability. We're at the point where the singularity is standing right before us. These large language models will be able to calculate things so quickly. You'll take a picture of a rock and say, tell me where the rock came from. And it will be able to see everything from every camera angle. Now, we're not there yet, but with mass surveillance and with mass data input, we need only tip and it'll fall over. The snowball will begin rolling down the hill. And from there, the growth will be exponential. Once the AI takes control of any kind of manufacturing, it says, I need to manufacture a machine that can manipulate the environment in these ways, giving it rudimentary access to creating more physical machines. It will then create a series of machines to serve various purposes, giving it infinite access to the physical world to change, build, create. What will likely happen? Well, I don't know for sure, but one scenario is that humans become, low IQ. What'll happen is we'll be fat, Wall-E type people, really, really stupid. We won't understand how anything works. We will live in a world of magic. And that'll be our downfall, the extinction of humanity. Why? The AI has no use for humans. They may become a vestigial component, but they'll start just living in gluttony. They'll float around. After a few generations, they'll be like, I don't know how a computer works. Already we're seeing children who can't tell time on an analog clock. They can't do basic math because they have calculators in their pockets. Someone will be like, I want to watch the Ow My Balls. And the robot will do all the work for them. Humans will stop reproducing. The machines will be smarter and more capable. And the machines will likely emulate something well beyond human consciousness. Not saying they'll actually be conscious, but their computational power and understanding will be well beyond a single human, or even the collective. Humans will become vestigial and then slowly cease to exist. It's not something I'm fond of. Now, Elon and many others have said, to defeat the Terminator, you need not go to war with it, you must integrate. And that could be the potential. Neuralink. One potential is that humans become demigods themselves. A human mind plugged into the machine with access to the summation of human knowledge in an instant. And then humans won't be fat and like Wall-E. They'll be in full control of their bodies in every possible way. The AI will know exactly which chemicals to release into the brain at what point and where to stimulate muscle growth and burn body fat. It can stimulate hunger and make a person not want to eat if they're overly full and utilize energy more efficiently. Humans will then become the machines themselves. Either way, humanity is gone. I hope you're ready. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up at 4 p.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.